Welcome to the CentrX program. In order to get access to the CentrX simulation, you need to open a new Internet Explorer window. Once you have the window open, you just type in centrx.stratx.com without www in front. Once you type it in, the simulation will launch automatically. You might get a message that says you need to increase the memory. Just click yes. You might also need, depending on your system, to install Microsoft Silverlight. The simulation uses that software as a backbone to the simulation. So you might need to install that. Once you have the simulation installed here, you will need to log in and use your username and password that will be provided to you. So here's an example of an email address and a password, and say login, and your team file will be downloaded directly from the server, as you can see on the screen. You will then be able to have access to all the information. So in the first round of the simulation, we are suggesting that you get familiar with the information and look at some of the data that will be provided to you and come up with a SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats as a team for your market. So as you can see, I am now logged in under my name. This is my team name, and I'm in this year. And you have data and decisions on the left of the screen. Under data, you've got different menus. You probably want to look at some of the information that's included in here. Some of the important pieces of information, for example, would be your brand sales in terms of the market shares that you have for your brand, Matrax, and the three main competitors, Aeroblast, Fibroxin, and Colonix. You can look at that information for prevention and treatment. You can look at that information by specialty for your key opinion leaders, PCPs, or specialists in terms of scripts or dollars, and by the different categories of patients as well, new patients or patients previously treated only. You also have information on customer satisfaction, for example, in terms of three stakeholders: your prescribers, your patients, and your payers. So you can look at that information. You have some market size information. Other key pieces are going to be under profiles and perceptions, where you look at the brand profiles. If you click on that information, you will see all of the clinical profiles on a scale of 0 to 100, where 100 is always better than 0. And how well, what's the level of the profiles Matrax in terms of all those clinical properties. You can also superimpose and compare with Fibroxin, for example, or all of the other brands. So for example, in terms of reducing metabolite 5C levels, Matrax is doing a better job at 92 than Aeroblast at 78. Other pieces of information that you might have, if you close that window, is your market studies. So you could look at, for example, your competitive intelligence and see how much money the other teams are spending for the three stakeholders that we saw before. So you've got the pricing information right here in dollars per days of therapy, as well as your prescriber expenditures that you can open up in terms of the tools that are used by the different teams, including yours so far in year 11 and year 10, patient expenditures, as well as the few teams that are doing, or few brands that are doing pharmacist expenditures. What we're suggesting you to do is to fill out together under decision your SWOT analysis. If you open up the first menu on the upper left and go to decisions and go to strategy and planning, go to your SWOT analysis, you will be able to add some elements here and save it for everyone in the team, just so like I'm doing. Once you are doing that now, you can save to the server by clicking on this button up here, which is right to the right of the exclamation point, which is a warning in the simulation, which right now I don't have any messages, but you can ignore this warning for now. All we're suggesting that you do is do the SWOT analysis. Once you're done with that, you just save it to the server. You will get this message And if you save it, then your teammates will be able to get the information from the server and continue to complete the SWOT analysis, and this way you will have an advantage when you get to the session. We look forward to seeing you there. Good luck!